Welcome to today's session. In our earlier session, we have discussed about tax liability relating to Rule 43. Nothing great about it. When it comes to input and input services, the whole taxability, everything would be handled by uh, whole taxability would be handled by relating whole tax liability would be handled by um, input and input services by Rule 42. When it comes to capital goods, it is handled by Rule 43. Now, points for our further discussion is we have discussed Rule 43 completely. There is nothing left over here, but only one aspect that need to be noted or that need to be coined and taken up is when it comes to capital goods, the reversal will be there. Again, E by F into common credit on capital goods. That common credit on capital goods, month on month, we will not determine. For a mission, we will determine for a period of 50 months. Yes, all that I'm able to appreciate, I understand all that is comfortably. But additional point which I want to make over here is interest. When it comes to its tax liability, interest also forms part of it. Now, coming back here, interest is also going to be collected on all these items. So, points for our discussions, points for our suggestion is interest will also be there. So, am I liable to pay interest? Let me repeat it. To whatever where I am convinced, I will share you only that aspect. When it comes to applicability on interest, take a situation on day one, credit is taken. Entire money credit is taken in case of common capital goods. But the credit is reversed over a period of next 60 months. So you are enjoying that money on day one itself. Sir, I am not mandatorily enjoying. You only gave me for an enjoyment. End of the day, it is enjoyment. Having enjoyed that money, which is technically an ineligible money, for that reasons, we are liable to pay interest. In fact, this is what is the discussion initially, at least for, honestly speaking, initially for 2, 3 years. I was under a very serious belief. I was under a very, very serious belief that this formula is wrong. Initial 2, 3 months. Just give me a minute. Okay. Some one or two calls to handle one such call, please. Will have a doubt with regard to interest portion alone. I do understand because originally for the first few months I was not convinced on this model itself. How come you are allowing me to take credit and again you are asking me to reverse, plus I am agreeable to the reversal count, no doubt at all. But you're asking me interest on the reversal portion. So a few of us might have a doubt on this. Just to eliminate that small speck of doubt that is existing, we will do one thing. We will once again take up this topic for discussion. No doubt in the earlier session over the morning we have discussed same aspects. I want to bring it over here now. No change in any information. All informations are already known to us. We are proceeding with the same information only. Just give me a minute. I'll load the Excel sheet. Yes. Hope the Excel is visible to all of us. Uh, Value of exempted supply for the tax period. Value of exempted supply, let me repeat, for the tax period. Uh, this is a number which will change from month to month. Let me repeat it. This month it is 350 lakhs. Next month it is 450 lakhs. And the third month it will be maybe 500 lakhs. Seventh month maybe 300 lakhs or maybe 800 lakhs. We don't know. Now, E is not constant. F is also not constant. F is the total supply for that month. E by F of that month. But what would be constant if you're going to ask me? There is a deeming fiction created in the law. Whatever eligible credit on the capital goods. If I buy a capital goods, I think in the earlier session in the morning, I have also highlighted that asset purchased under GST has to be minimum used for a period of 5 years, 20 weeks, or 60 months. Any case. That is a minimum requirement. So my eligible credit for the month will be 30,000 rupees. I think till here all of us are very clear. Sir, month 1 also 30,000, sir. Correct. Month 1 30,000. Month 2 30,000. Month 3 30,000. Month 4 30,000. Month 36 30,000. Sir, month 60 30,000. 30,000 into 60 equal to lakh and 80,000. The idea here is the credit on the common capital goods divided by 60 months, I will get a credit eligible for a month. Understood, sir? In that month, what is my exempted supply divided by total supply? The common credit every month is attributed as TC. Okay, TC. T represents the tax credit. C represents here the common credit on that mission. TC, of course, if I have 4-5 missions, if I aggregate that, then I'll get TM. For a minute, I'm ignoring TM. TC into E by F, we'll get a number. We have got a number which is 6,000. Month 1, I take lakh and 80,000 credit, use it for my output tax liability. I'm going to reverse only 6,000. Month 2, my turnover of exempted supply is 450 lakhs. My turnover or total turnover is 1,750 lakhs. Now, 30,000 constant, 30,000 into 450 lakhs by 1,750 lakhs, I will get a number. Now, which number will be, let's say 8,000 rupees that need to be reversed. Now, this into 1,000 for an interest calculation, we will convert into 1,000, then only we'll get some numbers. Sorry, not 1,000, 1 lakh. Then only we'll have some numbers for attractive working. Otherwise, we'll feel it's as a speck of dust. Now, 7714 need to be reversed. 7714 rounded off in lakhs is 0.08. That's all is agreeable. But 7714 is the amount need to be reversed. What is the interest portion on this? This number into 18% is there is interest rate under GST for 12 months into from the date of availing credit till my date of reversal. I think I have used the asset for, I have used this number for 2 months. When I multiply that, I will get a number. This is my interest. Now, I'll straight away go to month 24. If you carefully note, this is month 24. In month 24, my value of exempted supply is 650 lakhs. My total turnover is 2,200, which includes the 650 lakhs. 30 will not change. As I already told, every month it is 30. So my credit to be reversed becomes 8,864. 8,864. Now here, from the date of availing credit till my date of reversal, I have used this number 8,864. I have used this credit for a period of 24 months. Hence, my interest will be 3,191. This is if it is going to be for 24 months. 1 minute, I'll show the given number into 18% divided by 12, which means 1.5%. Suddenly I have all sorts of doubt coming into my mind. Now, hope you all appreciate this number. Now, sir, in 42nd month, what will happen? Same. In 42nd month, look, the organization is growing from where we started, some 350 lakhs. Now it is 1,250 lakhs exempted supply. 3,000 is the total turnover. And in this organization, where where 30,000 into 1,250 divided by 3,000. Sir, what is 1,250 exempted supply? What is 3,000 total supply? I'll get the ITC to be reversed is 12,500. And this I'm going to reverse this on which month? 42nd month. Then I have to reverse 12,500 plus pay interest of 7,875. At one point in time, what will pinch the organization is not this reversal, is the interest associated with the reversal. And let us go to the last situation when they are going to close the asset. Whether that asset itself does exist or not, I have doubts. On that month, which is the last month, 650 is the exempted supply. Total turnover is 3,250. And when we go out there and calculate it, look at the situation. No doubt it is 6,000 rupees we get. 30,000 into 650 divided by 3,250, we will get 6,000. Now this 6,000, I am liable to pay interest for 16 months. In fact, my interest calculation were approx. Look out, as time pass by, the amount of credit I reverse and the amount of interest is going to be at par. This one point, that is the interest calculation, is going to be a very, very crucial point in Rule 43. I'm sure all of you will understand Rule 43. All of you will execute it well. All of you will get your right answers. But only one challenge that is available before us or before us is it should strike to us that interest should also be calculated from second month onwards. Somewhere when the question says, for this mission, this is the 18th tax period. For this mission, this is the 30th tax period. For this mission, this is the 52nd tax period. Then calculate interest accordingly from the day one in which credit is availed till the date of reversal. Technically, it will be next month 20th. From the date of availment till this, sir, do I need to go by number of days? My answer once again is yes. For my working, for a non-approximate, non-problem based working, I used a very regular understanding of this 2 months, 24 months, 26 months, all that stuff. From an exam perspective, the day in which asset is purchased will be given. When the asset is purchased, if the asset is purchased this month, by next month 20th I will take credit. Sir, why next month 20th? Understand, when you file return only we can claim credit. The return filing due date is next month 20th. Only a normal person is eligible to claim credit. Normal person will file form GSTR 3B. Whenever form GSTR 3B is filed, at that time you can take credit, which all lands up into a common number of next month 20th. Either next month 20th, sir, April month I want to reverse credit. April month credit can be reversed when April month return is filed in the month of May before May 20th. If the date of filing return is given, that day we will take. If the date of filing return is not given, then the due date in which return is going to be filed, that would be considered as the day in which credit is availed, day in which credit is reversed. So do I need to calculate from that day to this day? Yes. Maybe first month you can go by number of days. Second month onwards, you will have a calculation for yourself. Sir, if I go by months, what will happen? Like how I did. If you go by months like how I did, you will get a different answer. That's all. Beyond that, first of all, I am trying to appreciate. I want you to imbibe a new thought in the history of indirect taxation over the last 50 years. We never had a concept like this for the first time because all of us were scared. Really, there will not be any benefit. I'm not joking at all. It's no point. It's no point in saying what paying today rupees 1,50,000 and saying whenever I want money, I will ask you some small money. You give me, and along with interest. Okay. From which day? From the day in which you have taken credit. End of the day, the person who collected along with the interest, he would be more beneficial than the person who have used that money itself. That is what we understand as time value of money. But that the point that we want to drive home here is a unique method, a new method, make yourself comfortable. Before me stepping into the next topic, altogether a different fresh discussion on the blocked credit. All along we saw apportionment of credit, how to take credit, partly if it is used for other than business purpose, partly for business purpose, partly for taxable, partly for exempted, how to avail credits. So that is what we discussed. If something is, I mean, in case if there are certain transactions where straight away credit is blocked, that would be our next part of discussion. Little easy discussion. We are all aware of these discussions. We read at an earlier level, so we will make a beginning towards those discussions associated with it. Any questions? Any doubt on the topic relating to Rule 42, Rule 43? One of your important rule. Let me repeat it. I'm consciously holding some discussions on Rule 42 and 43 from a real estate industry perspective. I want to have an exclusive session for real estate, maybe a 3 hour session we want. We need to discuss about the tax liability of real estate industry. Amendment has been made in from 1/4/2019, not tested in exam, followed by introduction of few reverse charge mechanism for that industry, plus introduction of 9/4 shortfall tax in that industry, followed by the reversals relating to both exempted supply when they are dealing in both exempted and taxable supply, and how to deal with in case if they are going to be dealing with after completed sale of flats. So certain specific discussion on that industry alone is there. It is not that we cannot discuss now. The challenge is it will not get fulfilled at all these are all different concepts. When we combine all these discussion together, we can have a holistic view. Maybe that gives a better understanding for us instead of this being discussed in isolation. I'm well aware of the fact 9/4 shortfall tax from real estate perspective is to be discussed. Long-term lease, joint development agreement, right to transfer from 9/3 in the 5/3 perspective to be discussed. I'm well aware of the fact, including Rule 42, 43 on your uh, real estate related reversals. We'll take it up those discussions on an identified class exclusively for the purpose of real estate industry so that it gets a nice attraction at when we discuss. Before we move forward, take up the discussions relating to 17.5. We will get into the blocked credit segment. Section 17.5 of CGST Act with the respective state SGST Act blocks availment of certain credits. Straight away, it blocks credit at its availment level itself, wherein which one of the first blocking starts is 17.5A. All those motor vehicle used for transportation of passengers and having a Mhm. My goodness. Motor vehicle which are used for transportation of passengers having a seating capacity of not more than 13 passengers. Let me repeat it. The block is on vehicle, passenger motor vehicle having less than 13 seating capacity. Not more than is a positive negative wording. Okay. In other words, a clear negative wording would be seating capacity less than or equal to 13%. Negative wording. So very categorically worded, not more than. If a passenger motor vehicle having a seating capacity more than 13, one category. Passenger motor vehicle less than 13 seating capacity is one category. Less than or equal to 13 category is same category. So not more than 13. More than 13 is not covered in the block at all. Sir, for more than 13 straight away can I take credit? Yes. Yeah, we are not discussing about you at all. We are discussing about less than 30, which means, sir, all those cars, all those what is a utility vehicles, SUVs, MUVs, all those tempo traveler, these stuff. There are certain vehicles which has a seating capacity more than 13. Maybe Swaraj Mazda 21-seater vehicle, Tata Marco Polo 24-seater vehicle, or a regular bus of 36-seater, 40-seater, 42-seater, 52-seater vehicle, all are eligible for credit. Why? Because they are all having a seating capacity more than 13. The block for availing credit is only for less than 13 vehicle. First learning. Sir, my vehicle is less than 13 only, seating capacity only, but I bought the vehicle for the purpose of a further supply of that vehicle, such vehicle, further supply of such vehicle, that vehicle. That word such should be given importance here. I bought a car because I want to sell the car. I bought a car because I am going to further supply the car on higher basis. Or I bought a car and I will put a driver, put fuel, and then transport certain passengers. Or I bought those vehicle for the purpose of training, imparting training of driving skills. In these three cases, ITC is eligible, or in other words, it is not blocked. In case of supplier making further supply of such vehicle, in case of transportation of passengers, in case of imparting training or driving skills. Points for our discussions. Points for our discussion is further supply of such vehicle, transportation of passengers, imparting training or driving skills. This three business person is eligible to claim ITC. The block of less than 13 vehicles is not applicable. Cars India Private Limited, a company whose main business is buying and selling of motor vehicle of a particular brand. They bought cars, sold cars. Are they eligible for claiming ITC though the vehicle is a 6-seater, 8-seater vehicles? Answer is yes. It is Bala Tours and Travels Private Limited, whose main business is purchasing car and give it in on higher basis with chauffeur and diesel fuel, for which he collects a little premium fee. Question before us: is Bala Tours and Travels purchase a 6-seater car, 4-seater car? Will they be entitled to claim ITC? Answer would be once again yes. Raghavendra Driving School purchases a car for teaching, for imparting how to drive a vehicle. Not reading by 40 books, a person learn how to drive a vehicle. When he is on the road, when he presses the accelerator, adrenal rush will happen both in his mission and on the mission. Or I'll rephrase it. In his mission's heart, which is an engine heart, engine for the natural being, and the heart of the mission will have adrenal rush of fuel. Yes, at that time the ABC of the imparting of knowledge is shared. Now the question for us is these organizations are blocked from claiming ITC? Answer would be a very simple no. Those organizations are eligible. Then who is blocked? A professional who purchases a 4-seater vehicle, a car, and he uses for his profession. A trader who purchases a 4-seater, 6-seater car, uses for his trading activities, his business, doing his business, or I'll rephrase this, conducting his business. A manufacturer purchases a 7-seater vehicle. He also used that vehicle for his business purposes. Is these people are eligible for ITC? The answer would be a very simple no, and it is getting blocked. So when your vehicle is eligible for input tax credit, necessary insurance, necessary repair and maintenance, necessary other activities are eligible. When your vehicle is blocked from ITC, no doubt insurance and maintenance is also blocked. So the eligibility to insurance, the eligibility to repair and maintenance comes from the eligibility to vehicle. If the vehicle is eligible to claim credit, then no question of blocking. If the vehicle is blocked by 17(5)(a), the next subsection will block even revenue expenditure connected with those vehicles. This insurance and repair and maintenance are not applicable. This block of insurance and repair and maintenance on the vehicle, the block of insurance and repair and maintenance block on the vehicle is not applicable for a insurer of this vehicle. When you possess a vehicle and you take a vehicle insurance, ICICI Lombard is called as insurer. You, the vehicle owner or the owner in possession of the vehicle, is called as the insured or the owner of the insured vehicle. If tomorrow some XYZ person out there, when your car is parked, came, bumped the car and passed by, you're clueless of it, but because it was on the main road, and very interesting to note, a CCTV footage of that is also available. You produced before the insurance company, see, it's not own damage. Somebody came, bumped my car and walked away. It cost me about now 50,000 rupees. Kindly, you have to bear it. And the insurance company agreed and bears. Now, a very fundamental question comes. The garage where the motor vehicle repair is conducted, that garage will raise a invoice. On whom? On the insurance company. Why? Because the insurance company is going to make payment. No. Can a insurance company claim credit? A fundamental question came on a car. On a car, can an insurance company claim credit? The answer would be a very simple no. So we are tweaking the question little differently. On the car, sorry, a car which is insured by the company, can that insurance company claim ITC? Then our answer is yes, that insurance company is eligible. So coming back here, if the repair and maintenance activity is going to be undertaken by an insurer of that motor vehicle, or the repair and maintenance activity, after repairing the vehicle, the dealer bills the manufacturer, then the respective manufacturer of the vehicle or insurer of the vehicle would be entitled to claim input tax credit, but others are not eligible. It's easy to discuss this provision. Let me repeat, it is easy to discuss this provision when we put certain facts before us. Then we would be able to have a better understanding. It is it's a motor vehicle. One minute. The real game of the credit would be in case of all those insurer of a motor vehicle or a manufacturer of a motor vehicle. More importantly, manufacturer of a motor vehicle, every four-wheeler, first three services are free services. Is it really free services? No. The respective dealer will raise invoice to the supplier. I mean, that is the main manufacturer of the motor vehicle. To the manufacturer of motor vehicle, they will raise invoice. Yes, ITC is eligible to whom manufacturer of the motor vehicle. So this is the situation. Motor vehicle, two broader caps, more than 13 seating capacity, close the gate, ITC eligible, mat rents there. Less than 13 seating capacity, two broader classification, specified categories of supply, other than specified categories of supply. Other than specified category of supply, no eligible. ITC not eligible. Specified categories of supply, ITC eligible. In other than specified categories of supply, if you are a manufacturer of that motor vehicle, if you are an insurer of that motor vehicle, ITC is eligible. A unique understanding, a beautiful understanding. If the last 15-20 minutes of the discussion is more worthful to you, you can happily answer the question that are going to be raised to you now. A professional who has used this four-wheeler for the purpose of professional, for the purpose of profession, for conducting his profession. Now, whether the professional on the purchase of his new car will he be eligible to claim ITC? A very simple, down to earth question. A professional purchases a new car. This car will be exclusively used only for professional purposes. Will he be eligible to claim ITC? Yes or no? Be a very simple answer. Yes or no? Want to write it in a little more professional way? ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. Okay. So, yes or no, or a simple answer. Quick, 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 quick. Yes. ITC not eligible. Good. A lot of you are answering ITC not eligible, ITC is blocked, ITC is ineligible. All the answers are right. Now, this time it is a company whose main business is transportation of passengers by motor car. This company has purchased a BMW 5 Series vehicle, which is going to be used for hire. ITC is eligible or not eligible? It is a car manufacturing company. Sorry, it's a company whose main business is car hire. The companies whose main business is transportation of passengers by motor car, whether the company would be eligible to claim ITC. Our answer would be a very simple yes. Company is eligible to claim ITC, no doubt about it. Only twist in the question is a company whose main business is transportation of passengers by motor car purchased a BMW 5 Series vehicle for its Managing Director. Just deleting some words, that's all. ITC eligible, not eligible. A new question, a change in the question. Understand? Company's main business is transportation of passengers by motor car. In that company, they have purchased a new car, which is going to be used by the MD. ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. Quick, quick, quick. All of you are chorus coming chorously. ITC not eligible, ITC not eligible. New car used by MD ma. Company main business transportation of passengers ma. Main business company transportation of passengers. ITC eligible, not eligible. எல்லாரும் நாட் எலிஜிபிள் எழுதிருக்கீங்க. வா விஷ்ணு பிரசாத் வந்து காப்பாத்தினாங்க எலிஜிபிள்னு சொல்லி. One minute. One. Come, read along. All of you who said ITC not eligible, it is correct. Because such a vehicle, it is not you are in that business decides. It is that vehicle decides. If it is a vehicle used for hiring purpose, then it will be in yellow board, very popularly called as transport board registration. If it is going to be a private vehicle, then it will be in white board. Sir, that is the decision maker? Yes. What is a similar topic, when we go back to depreciation, okay, 32. If the vehicle is used for hire, what is the percentage of depreciation? Vehicle, car used for hire purposes, what is the depreciation rate? Percentage. So do I need to remember? Yes, for exams you have to remember. Section 32 depreciation rate you have to remember. Yes. Quick. Percentage of depreciation when the car is used for higher purposes. Quick. Don't say me topic லாம் எடுக்கலன்னு. இதெல்லாம் எப்பயோ முடிச்சாச்சு இன்டர் லெவல்லயே. பா வருது பாருங்க. முதல் 3 ஆன்சர் டும்மு. ஓகே. ஐயோ. இதெல்லாம் என்ன பயமுறுத்த கூடாது. நானே சொல்லிடுறேன்ப்பா வந்தே வேண்டாம். 30% is the rate if it is used for hire. If it is used for personal purpose, then it is 15%. How you will decide whether the vehicle is used for a hire or vehicle is used for a personal purpose? While registering, is it a private vehicle? Is it a public vehicle? The vehicle will be registered. Now, that vehicle, though it is a BMW 5 Series or whatever be the series, procured for the usage of the MD of a company whose main business is what? Space freight service. ITC not eligible. A correct position taken by a lot of you. Good. Quickly getting into last few discussions almost on the similar lines. Companies whose main business is general insurance, including motor vehicle, insurance. They purchased a car for the MD. A company whose main business is providing general insurance services, that general insurance services company purchase a new car, purchase a new car for their MD. ITC is eligible. Quick, 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 quick. Fast, 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 fast. ITC is eligible, ITC is not eligible. A lot of you are all very clear. ITC is not eligible, which is a very, very right answer. Good. Happy you all understood it very rightly. Last question for on this topic. The same company has paid a claim raised by one of the owner of the car, of course, raised by the garage of one of the owner of the car, who has insured the vehicle with the company. On this claim which is paid by the insurance company, whether the insurance company is eligible to claim ITC. Last question. D. Yes. Mundichi, all done. We'll move forward to the next topic. You're all done. ITC is eligible. All of you are all right. That's all, sir. That's all. You got that nothing great. Yes, sir. You hype create பண்ணீங்க தெரியலையே. Now small tie over big tie. ITC and car, that and all you take care. We are not bothered about it. We want ITC in aircraft. Okay. There are organizations who use their aircraft and vessel for business purpose, not as a business of transporting passengers. I'll come to that topic a little while later. But this time, think of an organization like L&T who has an aircraft, private aircraft, 12-seater aircraft for their own purpose. Think for a minute, a company like Lalita Jewelry who has a private aircraft for their own purposes. Joy or Lucas, Jose or Lucas, Kalyan Jeweler, or it is going to be Reliance, TVS, Hinduja Group, Leyland. All these organizations, various other organizations, GMR, or it is going to be Pavans, various organizations have aircraft which is by and large used only by the managing director, the top executive directors of the organization. Okay. Because their time is precious, they cannot wait for the aircraft. When they come, the aircraft should start. That's their intention. Okay. It's very right. I'm not finding any different view on that. There are many organizations like this. We can go on, start counting it. Now, these organizations have their aircraft in their books of accounts. These organizations maintain the aircraft. These organizations get the necessary approval, license fee, etc. Why is it? Many things are there. Let me repeat it. It's not a company's aviation business. Kindly understand. I'm not talking of here about Indigo. I'm not talking of here about Air India, nor I'm talking about SpiceJet. I'm talking of a regular manufacturing company. Reliance Industries Limited has aircraft, has few aircraft, at least 4 or 5 aircrafts they have in the main parent company. Take a company like TVS has two choppers in the main company. So organization like this, when they procure the aircraft, uh, when they procure it, obviously it comes up with GST. Are they eligible for credit? The answer would be a very simple no. Then who can claim? Except whose main business, who's engaged in specified supplies. What are these specified supplies? As usual, regular discussion, further supply of such vessel, such aircraft, transportation of passengers, imparting driving skills, training skills, navigating skills, flying skills. Agree. So if there is going to be a organization whose main business is imparting flying skills, if they procure aircraft, ITC is eligible. We have an organization by name called as Deccan Aviation Limited, whose main business is giving aircraft on private charter. Okay. Suddenly, two people have to come from Goa. It's all of a sudden they have to come. So, aircraft facilities are all not available. Two, 3 or 4 members, family members also should come from Goa suddenly. So, they booked the aircraft and came over here. So, organization like Deccan Aviation Limited used to do it. It's a film shooting. They want a particular chopper. They want uh, the main cast or the main center of attraction of that particular film has to get down from a chopper from the next street to this street. Don't ask me why and all. That's how the story is designed, and that's what also people want. Next street to next street, will they go in aircraft? So that's what they shown me. No, so that's what we can discuss. For which I want, for a film shooting, I take a aircraft on hire. So we have an organization whose main business is transporting people here and there. Now, when it comes to those organizations, the law comes out and says, just give me a minute. So when it comes to those organizations, they are all entitled to claim ITC because they use the vehicle for a further supply. Sir, we are Blue Dart, we are DHL, we use the aircraft vessels for transportation of goods. ITC is eligible. When your vessel or aircraft is eligible for ITC, its repair maintenance is naturally eligible. No, no, no. We are not into main business of this. We are just the insurer for this aircraft. We are insurer for this vessel. That's all. Then even an insurer, even an person who maintain it, they are also eligible to claim credit. So you will have a feel of motor vehicle discussion getting little repeated. I do agree with you. Motor vehicles, one portion will get repeated, not completely it will get repeated. Let me repeat. It's motor vehicles, one portion will get repeated. That is this portion alone. Instead of motor vehicle of a seating capacity equal to 13%, if you allow me to amend, I would say same is also applicable for the same situation is also applicable for aircraft or vessel. So I'm not changing much. I mean, everywhere you can now substitute motor vehicle, or it is going to be aircraft or vessel. Once again, this all diagram will take a lot of time. We have a lot more to discuss. So come back here. Intention of us is just to give you understanding that be it a motor vehicle, be it a aircraft, be it a vessel, if you're going to use it for the main specified activity of that vessel, ITC is eligible. No, I'm not going to use it for a specified activity. I'm going to use it for other than specified activities. Then ITC is not eligible. The insurer of the motor vehicle, the insurer of the aircraft, the insurer of the vessel eligible for ITC. Connection with repair and maintenance. Only R&M. Only R&M. In connection with R&M. Similarly, the manufacturer of that motor vehicle, manufacturer of that aircraft, manufacturer of vessel is eligible for the claiming credit on the R&M related matters. So that sums up a discussion relating to motor vehicles. Make yourself a little more comfortable on the motor vehicle, and now we will proceed from motor vehicle to the next part of our discussion on some industry. Same logics, no changes in the discussion, all are remaining same. 17.5b, which discuss about all those food or beverage, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, healthcare services, cosmetic and plastic surgery. These credits, including your leasing, renting, hiring of motor vehicle, vessel or aircraft, referred in clause A or clause AA, when used for the purpose specified therein. What do we mean by this term called as when used for the purpose specified therein? If you are eligible to take credit of a car when it is purchased, you are equally eligible to take credit of a renting, hiring, leasing of that car. When you buy a car, you are not eligible to take credit as per 17.5a. When you hire a car, you are not eligible. Let me repeat, a very crucial discussion, a very, very important discussion, a discussion which gains its momentum on its fine print: renting, leasing, licensing, hiring of motor vehicle. Those motor vehicle or those related credits, when I would be eligible to claim credit? If as an asset, if I am eligible to claim, then no doubt I would be eligible to claim. If I am unable to claim, or if I am blocked from claiming it, then no doubt I am completely blocked from claiming this. For your comfort, I thought I will bring the original wording of this to your screens. Whenever we see original wording now, we get a different understanding. So read through these wordings. The following goods or services are food, beverage, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, healthcare services, cosmetic plastic surgery, leasing or hiring or motor vehicle, referred to in except when used for purposes specified therein. See, there itself there is an exception. If it is used for the purposes specified therein, then ITC is ineligible. It is used for a purpose other than specified therein, then ITC would be eligible. In other words, just give me a minute. Because of late, when we see the real contents, you get a do I need to read like this? My dears, be very clear. At a final level, the expert knowledge is required. That is what everyone come out and comment. They are doing this is the verbatim, just copy of that act. Don't be much bothered about it. Sir, what is this? Something special? Because when we see that, always we'll get a better understanding. The idea is that's all. When you see the original version, you will understand. See, you're going to use a motor vehicle except when they are used for making following taxable supplies, namely A, B, C. If a vehicle is going to be used for this specified purpose, then ITC in connection with should be what? Eligible. So that is what is referred as used for specified purposes therein. Done. If it is allowed under this purpose, sir, even then I'm not getting grips, sir. How do I get comfort of it? My humble submission, this is a layman understanding. Are you eligible for ITC on this item as a capital goods? Tomorrow you are engaged in chartered accountant. You are engaged in chartered accountancy profession. You are engaged in company secretary profession. You are engaged in cost accountancy profession. You are booking a vehicle tomorrow from Bala Tourist and Travels. Bala Tourist and Travels supplied the vehicle. You made the payment. The bill comes up with GST. Now, if you have purchased a car, are you eligible to take credit? Answer is no. Then hire of the car is also not eligible for credit. What is not available in its original form, in its otherwise form, is also not available. That is the layman's understanding. What I shared to you, it's a layman understanding. Instantly you can understand. Sir, if I own an aircraft, I am not eligible to claim ITC, sir. Sorry, even if you hire an aircraft, you are not eligible to claim ITC. The block is only on leasing, renting, or hiring of motor vehicle vessel, not buying an air ticket. If you buy an air ticket, the story is different. You are going among 180 passengers or one passenger. I am sorry, you hired an aircraft itself. You are the only passenger who is traveling in that aircraft. It's a 6-seater aircraft. You are the only passenger who is going to sir, this is also transportation of passengers. Sorry, this is not transportation of passengers. This is called as a charter trip. You are technically hiring the aircraft for the trip. So go back. You are an as an organization. If you have an aircraft, are you eligible to claim ITC? No. Hire of aircraft and ITC is also not eligible. I think if you start understanding in that way, change your understanding in that way, it would be a lot more easier for us to make a discussion. Just give me a minute. Coming back here, getting into a further discussion. Yeah. Yes. One of your important, a manufacturer of a shoe manufacturing company has purchased a Mercedes Benz 4MATIC. After purchase of his Mercedes Benz, he thought he would be entitled to claim ITC. His professionals came out and told him, his accounting people came out and told him that he is not eligible. Okay. So he said, am I not eligible for the credit? Yes, you are not eligible for the credit. It gets blocked. So he understood, okay, I'm not eligible for the credit. Next time when a need to procure the car came up in 2019, originally in 18, he was ineligible. Then again in 19, when the thought comes, you want to buy the car, when the organizations, car companies, people and all, they regularly approach, sir, new model came, they want to sell the, what is it? They want to sell the thoughts. Okay. And every time, unless and otherwise, a person reaches the top model of a vehicle, he will not get all the facilities at one end. That is how the organizations do maintain. With due respect, many times in this business model of it, Volkswagen is General Motor, Audi. Just picking up these three models, which are all available in India, we all know. A very few of us only know all three belongs to same company. Yes, all three belongs to same company. Not only three. Just for your information, 13 brands are below one single company. But outside, if you see in the market, everyone will compete with other. But if you go and specifically identify, do a little more research, all three fellows will be TDI engine. Same engine, TDI engine. Now, the point that I want to drive home here is, not every facility was available. Every time they will come up with various models. And one of the challenges with high expensive cars is, it will not have a very great resale value. A car which is being procured for about 55 lakhs, 5 years down the line, there will be hardly a few takers for about 12 to 15 lakhs. 50 lakhs and all is too much for me. 12 lakhs, that's all. Sir, 5 years only used, sir. To the contrary, if a concept car, a small car is purchased for about, let's say, 6-7 lakhs, 5 years used, after that, it would be able to be sold at least for 3.5-4 lakhs. 3.5 lakhs is guaranteed. Sir, why here? Why then? Very simple. Takers. Takers are very hardly less when it comes to these cars, because after 5 years, after 7 years, the real problems of the car will crop up on those segments. Now, coming back here to our discussion, the car manufacturing, the car dealer company people came out and told, sir, we do understand you are not eligible for credit. What we are now coming up with a proposal is, you don't buy the car and all, sir. You pay us monthly 75,000 rupees. This fellow thought, what is this 70,000? No, sir, if you want to go for a EMI, you have to pay 60,000. Now pay us 75,000. When you want to buy the car, you have to make a down payment of 10 lakhs. This time you pay a 15 lakhs down payment. This fellow thought, okay, 15 lakhs I will pay. Agree. Monthly 75,000. Okay, what you'll give me? Sir, I will give you a invoice as higher charges. Now, I'll go back to the same question. A leather manufacturing company, leather manufacturing company, this time not purchase a car, this time takes a car on finance lease, not on hire purchase, finance lease, where periodically higher charges is paid. Finance lease, higher purchase charges. Question before us is ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. Finance lease, car manufacturer, company is into the business of ITC is not eligible. See, when you buy the product, when ITC is barred, you hire it, lease it, do whatever you want, ITC is subsequently also barred. Some special discussions. Food and beverages, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, healthcare services, cosmetic services, plastic surgery. When these services are used by a person for further supply of such service, for making a outward supply of same category of service. I have taken an F&B services, subsequently I provide some F&B services. I have taken some outdoor catering services, subsequently I provide outdoor catering services. ITC is not eligible. So, very clear discussion. Why government want to block these credits? ITC availability will not be eligible. So, do I have something very meticulously discussed here? Yes. Come back here. Provided that input tax credit in respect of such goods or services or both shall be available when the inward supply of goods or services or both is used by the registered person for making an outward supply of same category of goods or services or both, or as a element of taxable or composite supply. Again, the next important word, if it is an element of taxable composite supply, sir, I have already read all this in my earlier level, sir. At your earlier level, we would have discussed what is blocked. You would have not given weightage to even if it is sent as an element of taxable or composite supply. A classic example for this is CA institutes conduct a CPE meeting, a professional education meeting. For this CPE meeting, they collect a CPE seminar fee of 1,500 rupees. A day-long meeting, starting with morning deliberations at 9:30, ending with the evening deliberations by evening 5:30, morning high tea, afternoon lunch, evening high tea are part and parcel of this 1,500 rupees. The question that is going to be raised before you is, there is a regular outdoor caterer to the ICAI Institute. That outdoor caterer has supplied the food, raised the invoice to ICAI. Will ICAI be entitled to claim input tax credit? Yes or no? 100 people came, had food, had high teas, and the contractor had a price to 300 rupees, 350 rupees, 350 into 100. One fee is paid, on that there is a GST. Can the institute, ICAI, would be entitled to claim ITC, or they are not eligible to claim ITC? Very, very crucial question. At your level, this is the question. Quick. Yes. ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. Wait. Think about it. ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. Plainly, if you read, it would be giving you a different meaning. Read it with its substance, then it might give you a different meaning. There is a regular contractor who provide outdoor catering services to ICAI. ICAI conducts a meeting. That meeting very clearly told to high teas and lunch is forming part of the meeting fee. 1,500 rupees is collected by ICAI, whether on the outdoor catering service invoice raised by the caterer. Can ICAI claim ITC? Yes or no? ITC available, ITC not available. Or ITC eligible, ITC not eligible. For me, quick. I want a lot of you to answer. This is what is your exam question. Whatever you read all along is not your exam question. Will not come in exam question. Let me repeat it. For you, testing will be only in the proviso. The two provisos, last limbo. Sai Subramanian, check your answer. Hari Prakash, check your answer. Quick. Rest all of you, whoever answered, all of you all right. Quick. ITC is eligible. Sir, how come it is eligible, sir? It is an element of a taxable composite supply or mixed supply. As it is a component of a taxable supply, ITC is eligible. In fact, only for this discussion we went here, but for it we had nothing to discuss over here. Make yourself comfortable. These are all new discussions comes up during these times. A membership of club, ITC is not eligible. Fitness services, ITC not eligible. Travel benefit extended to our employees, ITC is not eligible. In case of travel benefit alone, if it is obligatory for the employer under any law for the time being enforced, if it is obligatory for the employer to provide those services, then ITC is eligible, provided that the input tax credit in respect of such goods or services or both shall be available, where it is obligatory for an employer to provide the same to its employee under any law for the time being enforced. So any travel benefits, when it is obligatory for the employer, then that purposes or that when it is obligatory for the employer to provide some kind of services, then ITC is eligible. A classic example to you could be in case if it is going to be something like COVID situations where it's mandatory for the employer to provide a home pickup and drop as per the MHA guidelines, Ministry of Home Affairs guidelines, then it becomes mandatory. Whenever it becomes mandatory, they would be entitled to claim ITC. When it is not mandatory, then when it's not, instead of using a word mandatory, obligatory, it becomes an obligation of the employer. Then ITC eligible. Otherwise, it is not. ITC is not eligible. That makes up the discussion relating to 17.5b. 17.5c and 17.5d, two are relating to construction, warrants 45 minutes plus discussion. First discussion will be for about 20 minutes, another discussion for 20 minutes, a couple joined together for another 5 to 10 minutes possible. We'll skip the two discussion, we'll take it up whenever when we meet next. Some small items for this evening. If any goods or services has been, on which tax has been paid, any goods or services, on which tax has been paid by the composition dealer, ITC is not eligible. If the goods are procured by a non-resident taxable person, ITC is not eligible. any goods or services that are used for private or personal consumption, ITC is not eligible. So generally, there will not be a situation where a composition dealer is going to charge GST. Exceptionally, by mistake, if we charge, even then ITC is not. See, there are people who are not aware that for composition levy, I am not supposed to collect tax. One of the condition of composition levy is they are not supposed to collect tax. But in case people have collected, the other person should not say, no, 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 I am eligible for it. Nothing doing, he is not eligible for it. Any goods or services received by a non-resident taxable person. Again, ITC is not eligible. Any goods or services used for private or personal consumption. Whatever be the goods, whatever be the services used for private or personal consumption, then ITC is not eligible. Be very clear, goods, it could be organization's mobile phone, it could be organization laptop, it could be organization devices, it could be organization's motor vehicle. When it is used for private or personal purposes, then ITC is not eligible. Now a question will come, sir, is it fully not eligible, partly not eligible? Those are the challenges. Let's first learn when it is used for private purposes, it is not eligible. Then maybe the organizations will have some matrix. Asset is used so much time for personal purposes, or asset cannot be used for personal purposes because we are blocking that in the system. Today, organization comes up with that control at the OS level. Because many times it's a made to order laptops, commercial laptops, which are all the laptops that we see in the market are all laptops made for SME businesses and personal laptops. The specific laptops which are made for certain organizations at the OS level, at the boot system level, they have a great fun. While it is getting booted at the time itself, they lock. The OS itself is a controlled OS, so they don't allow, because that kind of data security is required. So official laptop used for a personal purpose is very rare, because today USB devices are disabled. External applications cannot be installed. If it is installed, the system admin will shout at its peak of its decibel. So that's all getting. So maybe that is not possible. But again, cars are all one known area. But again, in cars, organizations generally not eligible to claim credit. So that is ruled out through that. Exceptional discussions, maybe a mobile phone or things like that. But for this reason, organizations, if in case they take credits, then it becomes mandatory, because certain organizations have the habit of buying and giving high-end mobile phones to their team leads, managers. All this is as part of their incentivizing programs. They have this facility. In any case, moving forward, when goods is lost, stolen, or destroyed. In case goods are lost, stolen, destroyed, written off, ITC is not eligible. Any credit is claimed on account of fraud, ITC is not. If a goods is destroyed by fire, lost during transit, or disposed of as free samples, necessary ITC need to be reversed or ineligible. Let's make the discussion very clear. When I give something as free without, end of the day, there should be a supply. If there is no supply, I give it as free, ITC is not eligible. Free supply, free samples are all something where they procure something, give one or two items as free. On those cases, yes, there will be a real situations where it is given as free. At that time, ITC is not eligible. So those are the exclusions. In this part, we don't have much to learn. Already we are aware of it. In C and D, yes, a little deliberation is required. We have the very recent writ petition filed against this matter. Sapari retreat, the Odisha High Court decision, which need to be discussed by us, where it interestingly splits the wording into a different way. Because if it is used for a particular purpose, then ITC is eligible. So whether a lift will be considered as a plant and machinery, whether what do we mean by plant and machinery, what do we mean by building, property which is constructed like organization like Phoenix Construction Private Limited, organization like that, they construct a building and then they give the building on rental basis. Whether those organizations are eligible, because for them the main business itself is going to be construction of building. Those are all the questions that we always have. All those questions we will take it up over a period of time on the next deliberation when we make. For this evening, these are all the discussions I thought we would take it up. Any questions on whatever we have discussed? Yes, I would take it up. Else, thank you all for effective and patient listening. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, Deepak.
a doubt. 17.5 section 17.5A ல நம்ம 13% சீட்டிங் கெப்பாசிட்டி இருந்தா நாட் எலிஜிபிள் டு ஐடிசி இல்லையா, அந்த ஸ்பெசிஃபைட் பிசினஸ்ல இல்லாம இருந்தா.
Correct.
அந்த இப்போ வந்து ஒரு ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பிசினஸ் வச்சுக்கோங்க, அதுல வந்து பைக்ஸ் வச்சிருக்காங்க டெலிவரிக்கு. ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் பிசினஸ் பைக்ஸ் வச்சிருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு வந்து எலிஜிபிள் கிடையாது.
ஆமா, கரெக்ட்.
அவங்க வந்து டிப்ரிசியேஷன் கிளைம் பண்ணலாமா அந்த ஜிஎஸ்டி காம்பனன்ட்டோட சேர்த்து?
See, wherever you are not taking credit, it's depreciation is a cost. நீங்க இதையும் 16(3) கிராஸ் ரீட் பண்றீங்க, கரெக்ட்டா?
எஸ் சார்.
நல்ல கிராஸ் ரீடிங். இங்க ஐடிசி கிடையாது அப்படின்னா உடனே உங்களுக்கு அங்க டெப்ரிசியேஷன் கிடைச்சிடும். எலிஜிபிள்.
ஆமா, அந்த ஒரு வழியா நம்ம எடுக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அந்த
ஆமாங்க. See, ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். உங்களுக்கு டெப்ரிசியேஷன், சாரி, எங்கெல்லாம் ஐடிசி கிடையாதுன்னு சொல்றோமோ automatically you are eligible for depreciation
along with GST component.
On the GST component also.
Okay, thank you.
சார், நம்ம ஒரு லாஸ்ட்டாக ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்த்தோம் சார். எம்ப்ளாயி வந்து இந்த மாதிரி கோவிட் சுச்சுவேஷனில் வந்து கார் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணுவோம் ஃபெசிலிட்டி. இப்போ பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணி தான் சார் அவங்க காரை பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணி அந்த சர்வீஸ் ப்ரொவைட்.
If you buy a car, you are not eligible.
Only
if you hire a car, it becomes your obligation.
ஆனால் எப்படி இருந்தாலும் எம்ப்ளாயிக்கு ஆப்ளிகேஷன் தானே சார் அது, அவன் பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணி தான் ஐடி
டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டிங் எம்ப்ளாயிக்கு தானே
கிளைம் பண்ண முடியாது சார். பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணதுக்கு
கார்லாம் வாங்கினாலும் கிடையாது, அதுக்கெல்லாம் எதுவுமே ஒப்பீனியன் கொடுத்துருவாங்க. When it is obligatory, then yes. Otherwise, பாருங்க, உங்களுக்கு அதுல கிளியராகவே இருக்கும். Provided the input tax rate in respect of such goods or services or both shall be available when it is obligatory for an employer to provide the same to its employee under any law for the time being. இங்கே ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு. See, இந்த இட்டாலிக் 3க்கு அப்புறம் தான் இது வருது, இந்த ப்ரொவிசோ வருது. Is this proviso is a common proviso for, is this proviso is a proviso for italic 3 or for the clause B? Hope you appreciate.
Yes sir.
புரியுதா? நான் கான்ஷியஸா எடுக்கல, என்ன எடுத்தேன்னா இன்னும் குழப்பம். ஓகேவா? நீங்க கேள்வி கேட்டதுனால உங்களுக்கு மட்டும் இது. Can you able to appreciate my question?
வந்து அது இந்த கிளாஸ் B க்கு தான் லிங்க் ஆகும்ல சார்.
இந்த இட்டாலிக் 1க்கு தான் இந்த ப்ரொவிசோன் நம்ம படிக்கிறோம்.
ஆமா சார்.
சரியா? அப்போ இந்த ப்ரொவிசோ இட்டாலிக் 3க்கு தானே படிக்கணும்.
எஸ் சார்.
ஏன்னா இங்கேயும் பாருங்க செமிகோலன் போட்டிருப்பான், இங்கேயும் செமிகோலன் போட்டிருப்பான், சாரி கோலன் போட்டிருப்பான், இங்க செமிகோலன் போடுறான். செமிகோலன் போடுறான்னா அங்க அதோட படிச்சு நிறுத்தினோன்னு அர்த்தம். கோலன் போட்டு திருப்பி வந்து ஃபுல் ஸ்டாப் இங்க தான் வைக்கிறான். அப்பனா இந்த ப்ரொவிசோ இதுக்கு மட்டும் தானே அப்ளை ஆகும். அப்போ travel benefit to extend to employee on vacation such as leave travel or home travel, அப்போ அதுக்கு மட்டும் தான் படிக்கணுமா? இதெல்லாம் இந்த சட்ட நுணுக்கத்தின் சண்டைகள். We have that. You understand it in a little easier way, which will be any travel benefit extended by an employee, which is obligatory for the employer to do, then it would be eligible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.